Welcome to a Christmas Eve holiday meditation. I'm Rebecca, and the holiday season is its own form of crazy, and this year is no exception, except that it is. We've never experienced a moment like this before. If your basic needs are met and you haven't lost loved ones to the virus, you may be feeling a number of things: disappointment, relief, anger, joy, ennui, excitement. The winter solstice is just past, as is Hanukkah, and we are on the doorstep of Christmas with New Year's Eve right behind. We are all missing someone, and the rituals and traditions we usually look forward to, or sometimes dread, some of us may be feeling quite content with the excuse to stay home and may even feel a little guilty about that. All in all, emotions are high and stress is inevitable. Tension manifests in headaches, neck aches, sore shoulders, tummy aches, and short fuses. A sense of constriction and tightness take over. How do we handle the stress of the moment? Movement and breath help us to create more space. Sit in a chair where your feet can reach the ground and you can move from side to side. So take a moment to settle into your seat, feeling your feet against the ground, your seat in the chair, your hands on your lap. Begin to notice your sensory environment. What are the sights that you see in your space? What's the light like? Maybe it's comfortable for you to close your eyes or take a soft gaze. Tuning in to sensation, noticing what you feel beneath your feet, beneath your fingertips, the temperature of your space, and any sounds that you hear. With each inhale, allow yourself to sit a little bit taller in your seat. With each exhale, drop and settle, grounding towards the earth. Inhale to reach skyward. Exhale to dig deep and settle. Breathing from earth to sky. Let's take 10 breaths. And after your 10th or so exhale, release into your natural breath. So sitting up nice and tall in your seat, maybe you'd like to move to the edge of your chair if possible. I'm going to scoot it forward just a little bit. Sitting up nice and tall, let's move into sun breaths. Inhale and float the arms up. Exhale, release, and allow the arms to float down. Let's do several repetitions of our sun breath, beginning to connect movement and breath. The inhale lasts the whole time that you rise with your arms. The exhale lasts the whole descent. Just a couple more like this. Beginning to loosen up in the shoulders, in the upper and mid back. And the next time your arms are up, reach tall, and then lower the right arm and come up and over with the left. If you're sitting in a chair, you can try crossing your arm over and holding on to the other side of your lap. Stay for a breath. And then inhale up through center and exhale to the other side. You can also hold on to a chair leg below if you need more support. Staying for a breath. Inhale and switch sides, and we'll continue moving side to side, beginning to open up in the side body, creating a little more space for that calming breath. Once more to each side. And this time, as you inhale up through center, prepare to twist, bringing right hand to left knee, left hand to right knee, and right hand behind you. Inhale, grow tall, and exhale, look over your shoulder. Inhale up through center and exhale in the other direction. The inhale creates space. Use your muscles, not your arms, to twist a little deeper. And continue moving side to side with your breath, creating extra space and using the breath to deepen the twist. And this or the next time that you come through center, exhale and release arms down. Bring your hands to your knees. And we'll move into a seated cat-cow. Inhale, rocking your pelvis forward. Open your belly, open your chest. Let the head reach back. Exhale and tuck the pelvis. Draw the belly in and release the chin forward. Begin the movement by rolling the pelvis forward or rolling the pelvis back. And then the rest is just like a ripple up your spine responding to the movement of the pelvis. Maybe you make this movement a little bit bigger, coming further forward, leaning a little further back. Or maybe you'd like to circle by bringing your ribs to one side and forward, the other side and back. Take your time using this cat-cow and variations to explore where you are today. How are you showing up? What are you noticing? If you're circling, make sure you move in both directions. And we'll all end, when you're ready, with some forward and back. And allow the movement to get smaller if it's gotten bigger. Coming to some stillness. Let's move into some head and neck stretches. Inhale in place and then exhale and drop your chin to your chest. Inhale to center, exhale and look over your right shoulder. Inhale center and exhale left. Inhale center, exhale chin to chest. This time as you inhale, lift your chin, but don't let your head drop back. And then come back to center. Inhale in place. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale to center. Left ear to left shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, chin up. Exhale to center and inhale in place. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. You can hold here or, excuse me, bring your right arm up and over, gently resting it on the side of your head. Don't pull, just a little suggestion. Maybe reach your left arm and walk it out along the floor, or reach down and grab the mat or the chair seat beneath you. And we'll stay for just a few breaths. Moving gently, working within a comfortable range of motion for you. Release your arm and inhale the head to center. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, chin up. Exhale to center and inhale in place. And this time, left ear to left shoulder. Bring the arm up and over if you choose. Again, don't crank on your head. Just let it rest there. Maybe reaching away and pulling with the opposite arm. Breathing into sensation as long as it's comfortable. We're not going to move into anything painful here. Stay for another breath. And then inhale up through center, release arms down, exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, chin up. Exhale to center, inhale in place. Let's look right, look left, look down, and up, and center. Ear to shoulder, and center. Ear to shoulder, and center. Chin to chest, chin up, and come to center. Let's just roll the shoulders up and back. Roll the shoulders up and forward. Inhale your arms out at shoulder height. Turn your palms up and bring your fingertips to the tops of your shoulders. Let's begin to circle, drawing the elbows down, out, and around. Take your time. Really feel the movement here as long as it's comfortable and not painful. Let's find a place to reverse, noticing how that is different, if it is. And this time, let's reverse again and do one elbow at a time, making these sort of infinity circles. And reverse again, one elbow at a time. And coming through center, release and shake your hands out. Let's inhale up, exhale the right arm down, come up and over with the left. Inhale through center and exhale. I'm sorry, I've got my sides wrong today. Inhale up. One more time to each side. And come back to center. Shake out. Bend your elbows, bringing your hands in front of you, palms facing each other. Let's start by seeing if we can feel the energy between our palms. Begin to bring your hands closer together until you may or may not feel as if there's an energy ball. There's something there between your hands. Can you feel that energy? A little push and pull, maybe. Once you find it, or pretend you did, hold it for a moment and then begin to move your hands a little further and a little further, seeing how far apart you can bring your hands and still feel that little sensation of the energy between them. And then release that and shake it out. Bend your hands once more, palms facing each other, and make soft fists. Inhale and spread your fingers wide apart. Make bear claws by bending through the joints at the top of your fingers and then spread them wide apart again. Soft fist, spread wide, bear claws, spread wide, soft fist, bear claws, soft fist, bear claws, wide, bear claws, wide, soft fist, wide, bear claws, soft fist, bear claws, soft fist, wide, bear claws, wide, soft fist, and let it go. Shake it out. Just a couple more things here. We'll inhale, arms out at shoulder height, and then make fists, gentle, soft fists like we just did. And begin to circle at the wrist. Yeah. And reverse direction. Harder for me. And shake it out. Beautiful. We're going to move into a figure 4 stretch. So if you're sitting on your mat, if you're sitting down, you can sit cross-legged and you'll get some of the same effect. If you're sitting in a chair, reach down and grab your left leg and draw it up so that the ankle is kind of centered on top of your thigh, above your knee. Now, move this a little bit so that you can see. I think you can see my foot now. Sitting up nice and tall. Make sure both hips are still making contact with the ground or with your chair. If possible, even if you're sitting cross-legged on the floor, can you bring your ankle far enough over so that your foot is free and you can begin to circle your ankle? Big circles. I like to press through the ball of my foot and then draw the toes. If you're circling, reverse direction. And come to stillness. We're going to come into a gentle forward fold over our crossed legs. If you're sitting, it works pretty much the same way either way, if you're in a chair or if you're on your mat. We want to hinge forward from our hips rather than rounding from the crown of the head. So think about a long spine tipping forward. Maybe you hit your edge, your wall very quickly, or maybe you have a little bit of play. If so, bring your elbows to your knees or your knee and ankle. With each inhale, think about drawing your arms back towards you to help lengthen your spine, reaching through the crown of your head. As you exhale, see if you can soften and come forward just a bit more. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to release. Just a couple more. And when you're ready, release your leg down and move your knees apart if you're sitting in a chair. If you're on the floor, you could bring your feet out in front of you and drop your knees from side to side. That might feel good. And we'll move to the other side. Whenever you're ready, grasp your right ankle and bring it up onto your thigh above your knee and far enough over so that your foot is free. Sitting up nice and tall, I'm holding on to support my leg. If you're seated on the floor, you can also put a pillow or a block underneath your knee if that would be more supportive for you. Let's circle the ankle, pressing through the foot, and reversing that circle. You can hear my ankle cracking. Maybe you hear yours too. And then come to stillness. Sit up nice and tall. And exhale, begin to hinge forward over your bent leg. When you reach your edge, maybe you can bring your elbows to your knee and ankle. I have a little less room on this side, so I'm going to keep this hand down. And with each inhale, I'm drawing back to create a long spine. With each exhale, I'm softening, maybe tipping forward just a wee bit more. Couple of breaths. And pressing into the floor or your legs, sitting up nice and tall, and carefully releasing. Maybe you extend your legs out long on the floor or in your chair, and draw your knees towards and apart to release through your hips. We're going to go through a sequence that is a half Surya Namaskar, sun salute. We have a gray day here in Atlanta. So I don't know, maybe we're enjoying the gray day, but we still can bring some sunshine in. So follow along. You can be seated in a chair or on your mat. If you're sitting on the floor, and I should have said this earlier, but I recommend that you sit up on something, maybe the edge of a blanket, or maybe pardon me, a pillow or a bolster, just to make sure that your knees are dropping below your hips. If you're in a chair, come and sit toward the edge. Make sure your feet can make contact with the ground. I'll take you through the sequence once, and then I'll lead you through it a few more times. Just get a little space here. Okay. Inhale and arms float up. Exhale, we're going to come forward with that same hip hinge, long spine. Your elbows can come to your knees, your hands to the floor, whatever is appropriate for you. Inhale, hands to your knees, get really long in the spine. Maybe you come up a little bit. Exhale, release forward once again. Press down to rise up. Inhale up, and exhale, hands to heart center. That's the whole sequence. We're going to go through it 5 times. Inhale up, and exhale, forward fold. Hands to your knees. Inhale, create a longer spine. Exhale, soften into the forward fold. Inhale, press down to rise up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Go ahead through at your own speed. And after your 5th round through Surya Namaskar, just pause, hands at heart center. Take a couple of breaths. and then release your hands and shake them out. We're going to work with a couple of chair poses and then a tree. If you're sitting in a chair, you can join me in this as if pose where we lean as if we're going to sit up out of our chair. If you're sitting on the ground, take this time to make your way up to standing. If you're working with me from the chair, we're going to inhale and reach, press into your feet as if you were going to stand up. And exhale, come back. We'll do that 2 more times. It's the as if. This time, all the way up and exhale, release down. Move my chair out of the way for now. Take a moment to find my mountain pose. And we'll go right into a little bit more chair. So we'll do 3 versions. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale, begin to reach back with your tailbone, long spine, hinging at the hips. Hands come to your knees, as if you're trying to sit back into a chair that's a little too far away. Make sure you can look down and see your toes, that your knees are back over your ankles. Inhale here, get long in the spine. Exhale, press down to rise all the way up and come to heart center. So I'll do the next version. You can stay with version 1 or version 2. We're going to work right from heart center. I'm turning sideways so you can see my body shape. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale, begin to reach behind you with your tailbone. Long spine, knees over your ankles. I can see my toes. Reaching through the crown of my head. Inhale in place. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Press into your feet to rise up on the inhale. And exhale, close heart center. We'll do 1 more. You can do hands to knees, hands at your heart, or inhale and reach up as you sit back. Stay for a breath, getting long, reaching through the fingertips. Exhale, sink a little lower, and then press into your feet to inhale, rising up, and exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Shake that out. And we'll work with our balance pose. We're going to work with tree. Now take a moment if you know that you need additional support. To get that support, maybe you bring your fingertips to a wall. I could do that here, or to a chair or another piece of sturdy furniture that isn't going to slide away when you bring your hand to it. Take a moment to find your mountain pose. Maybe I'll back up a little bit. There we go. Feet about hip distance apart. Rock a little bit forward and back. Rock a little bit side to side. And then feel as if you are sending roots deeply into the ground, creating a really strong foundation for your tree. 2 feet making contact. From here, let's shift the weight just ever so slightly into the left leg so that you can float the right leg up. Turning out at your hip, place the sole of your right foot somewhere along the inner left leg at the ankle, calf, or thigh. Just don't press into your knee. Making contact between foot and inner leg. Take a moment to glance in front of you and find a focal point, something that isn't moving at your horizon line. Hold here. You can come in and out as you need to. Always an option to lower your toes down to the kickstand version. Let's inhale and grow branches, spreading our canopies wide, opening up. Lift the heart, reach through the crown, reach through the fingertips. Feel that connection from the earth, energy drawing up through the center of the body, all the way up and out. Big breath here. And exhale, hands to heart center, 2 feet down, and pause. Maybe you walk it out on your feet. Come to stillness, eyes open or closed. And take a few breaths. And when you're ready, blink eyes open, eyes on your focal point, feet making sturdy contact with the ground, sending the roots deep. Begin to shift into the right leg, floating the left leg up. Turn out at the hip and find your foot position on this side, above or below your knee. Pressing down to grow tall, drawing energy up through heart center, growing your branches. Open the heart, reach through the crown. Big inhale here. Can you be grounded and fixed in the bottom half and really buoyant and open and even flexible in the top? One more big breath here. And exhale, 2 feet down, hands to heart center, walk it out. Come to stillness and try closing your eyes. Seeing if you can find your balance from the inside out. And then blink your eyes open. Inhale and reach up. And exhale, close, hands at heart center. Let's come back to our seat. You can sit in your chair or sit on your mat in whatever will be a comfortable seat for our closing meditation. Taking time to find comfort. We've talked about this before, but if you decide partway through your meditation that you're not comfortable anymore, take a moment and readjust. That doesn't mean giving into every little itch and twitch, but if you're starting to really feel uncomfortable, please extend your leg, sit up taller, sit back a little. Feel supported in your seat, but also quite awake and upright. Feet or legs making contact with the ground below. Inhale and rise up, crown towards the sky. Exhale and sink back into the earth. A few more, excuse me, a few breaths just like this. Inhaling up and exhaling in place. Wonder is our birthright. It comes easily in childhood, the feeling of watching dust motes dancing in sunlight, or climbing a tree to touch the sky, or falling asleep thinking about where the universe ends. If we are safe and nurtured enough to develop our capacity to wonder, we start to wonder about the people in our lives too, their thoughts and experiences, their pain and joy, their wants and needs. We begin to sense that they are to themselves as vast and complex as we are to ourselves. Their inner world as infinite as our own. In other words, we are seeing them as our equal. We are gaining information about how to love them. Wonder is the wellspring for love, but you don't have to have any religious implication in order to open to wonder. You only have to reclaim a sliver of what you once knew as a child. If you remember how to wonder, then you already have what you need to learn how to love. This is from Valerie Kaur, a Sikh activist and human rights expert. Allow yourself to feel connected. Breath flowing smoothly. Begin to find some spaciousness in your inner body. As you breathe a little more fully, begin to notice any places of constriction lovingly. Gently bring the sensation of breath there to soften and open, as if you could blow up a balloon from the inside to stretch, creating space with breath. And now bring your breath to the center of your heart, breathing in and out from heart center. Inadequate as you might feel, inhale and let it open just a little, enough to let some light in. Shine the light in the dark places. And now begin to send that heart light out to your family and friends, your community, to anyone in need of some heart energy. Imagine if we all lived from this place in our hearts. Try not to close down. Find a way to show up, to be vulnerable and stay present. Long, slow breaths, allowing the joy to enter. We'll sit in silence for just about 5 or 6 minutes. Begin to deepen your breath, bringing small movements into fingers and toes. When you're ready, bring palms together and begin to rub, creating friction, some heat. Get the hands nice and warm, and then bring them to cup your eyes. Excuse me. Bring them to cup your eyes, letting the warmth penetrate. Gently blink your eyes open and release, hands down. Thank you so much for coming to this holiday meditation. I wish you well. Enjoy the holidays. Be safe. Namaste.